In this room certainly knows Robert H. Jackson's contributions to international criminal law. That is, of course, why we're here today. But what may not be as well known to this particular audience is his contribution to justice and the judiciary in the United States. And that, in many ways, on a domestic level, equals or exceeds his contribution to international criminal law. And of course, before he was chief prosecutor, he was Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. And before he was Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, he was Attorney General of the United States. Now, although his tenure may have been relatively short, I believe that it is probably still being felt in the office of Attorney General of the United States. And so it is with that that I am extremely honored to invite to the podium the current Attorney General of the United States, Loretta Lynch.
Thank you. To the Lord Mayor, distinguished minister, distinguished judges, my fellow prosecutors, students, and to all who love the law, I bring you welcome from the Department of Justice and from the United States of America, and I thank you for that warm welcome here tonight. Mr. Mayor, thank you also for your hospitality in welcoming me to this beautiful and historic city. Chief Prosecutor Fatou Bensouda, my sister in the law, thank you for your inspiring words and for your dedication to the cause of international law and justice. And let me also thank the Robert H. Jackson Center for hosting this annual dialogue and for inviting me to speak with you this evening. And let me thank all of you, this outstanding group of lawyers, public servants, advocates, and educators for being here this evening. And I am especially pleased that we have law students here this evening, including delegations from some of America's finest law schools. To you, I say, we are here to celebrate the cause of justice, a cause that will soon be yours to carry on. And I hope that your visit to Nuremberg will inspire you for years to come. Now, it is such an honor to address this distinguished body. It is especially meaningful for me to stand here in Courtroom 600 as Attorney General of the United States. So many men and women associated with the department that I am so proud to lead, the Department of Justice, participated in the Nuremberg trials. Of course, the most famous of them was one of my predecessors, Robert H. Jackson, the chief American prosecutor and one of the trial's architects. But Jackson's deputy was Thomas Dodd, a Justice Department prosecutor who later became a prominent U.S. senator. And another former Attorney General, Francis Biddle, was America's representative on the judges' panel. There were many others here who were less well known. People like Assistant Counsel Sadie Arbuthnot. She was a Justice Department secretary who'd gone to law school at night. And Cecilia Getz, the first female attorney to be offered a supervisory role at the Department of Justice, an offer she turned down in order to come to Nuremberg. And today, the Department of Justice is proud to carry on their legacy through our Office of Human Rights and Special Prosecutions, which is responsible for bringing to justice those responsible for genocide, torture, war crimes, and other extraordinary violations of human rights. Now, not all who served here were famous, but all who served here made a difference, not just in their own time, but for all time. Simply by holding judicial proceedings, they made clear that war crimes and crimes against humanity are not beyond the reach of justice. Rather, they are crimes that each of us has a responsibility to address. And by seeking the justice of the liberator, rather than the vengeance of the conqueror, they demonstrate that war does not have to be the final arbiter of human affairs. And by extending the rights of due process to those responsible for the most barbaric crime in history, they gave powerful witness to the principle of equal justice. Now, these were important precedents, ones that have shaped our world ever since. Nuremberg helped lay the foundation for the international tribunals that have followed. the tribunals for the former Yugoslavia and for Rwanda, and the International Criminal Court. And it also helped to inspire the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, as well as an expanded view of human rights generally. And the legacy of Nuremberg has certainly shaped my life and my career as well, as I was proud to serve for Hassan Jallow as special counsel to the prosecutor of the ICTR, a formative experience that brought me face to face with the devastation that ensues when the rule of law collapses and justice is nowhere to be found. Now, that devastation is all too real, and despite the progress that we have made, it is still all too present in our world. Nuremberg did not put an end to atrocities, and none of its architects were so naive as to think that it would. Indeed, the cry of never again has echoed far too often in the face of new atrocities. And certainly the evidence of man's continuing inhumanity to man can leave one dispirited and discouraged. But we cannot and we should not give in to despair, because the legacy of Nuremberg, the lesson of Nuremberg, is that when we are called to confront the evil that walks this earth, we turn to the law. When we need to mete out justice to those who have reaped the whirlwind and revel in the chaos resulting therefrom, we turn to the law. And it is through the law that we give voice to those shattered souls who seek redress, and we provide a reckoning to those who trade in fear and trembling. And let us never forget that within these walls, evil was held to account and humanity prevailed. And because of Nuremberg, never again can future generations turn a blind eye to the atrocities committed against their fellow human beings. Never again need future generations respond to war crimes or crimes against humanity with abject resignation. Because the lesson and the legacy of Nuremberg is that if humankind is determined enough and united enough, no crime, no matter how beyond the pale, is beyond the reach of justice. These are the lessons of Nuremberg. And so today, as we gather in this hallowed space, let us pause to learn them once again. And let us leave here renewed in our devotion to justice, not just for the people of our own countries, but for the people of all countries. And let us leave here refreshed in our determination to defend human rights, to protect human liberty, and to uphold human dignity wherever and whenever it is threatened. And let us leave here with a new resolve to build a world that is worthy of all those who served in courtroom 600, as well as the victims they represented. A world where every life is accorded equal value, where no one lives in the shadow of arbitrary power, and where all enjoy the shelter of impartial law. And that's the vision that has brought us all here tonight. And it's the mission that binds us together. So let me once again thank all of you, both the lawyers who do this work today and the students who will carry on this work tomorrow, for your commitment to that vision, for your contributions to that mission, and for your support of the ultimate goal of humanity. Thank you so very, very much.